Thank you very much. My name is Tekin. I'm from ISETIA. I'm a civil engineer. Actually, the major presentation will done by our customer, strategic customer. Bill just traveled here to share his case study. In the end, I will just add a couple of sentences. So, Bill, please.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Tekin. My name is Bill, and I'm from Norvia Engineering Consultancy. It's almost about 45 years engineering consultancy out of Portugal. At the same time, in the Middle East, we do work and have partnership with a company called Bonacci Winwood. It's an Australian engineering consultancy firm specialized in high-rise building structural design. So I will just go quite fast through the presentation, and I will try to focus more on the actual case study. Okay. Basically, my presentation will be about 4 areas. We'll just go through an exclusive summary, capability statement, project challenges, and finally is the case study for Mirage Center Tower. Visiting center, sorry. Again, as I said, Bonacci, Winwood, and Norvia, about 45 years engineering consultancy firm established in Australia, but we moved to the Middle East about 35 years ago. And we've done many, many projects. This is some of the area of specialties. This is some of the building and some of the project that we've done, and this is in our portfolio, okay? And that's some of the structural design that we've carried out under BW Gulf in the last 20-something years plus. And this is the current on-hand design that we are doing right now in the regions. And today our discussion for the case study will be Mirage Visit Center. And this is some of the project right now we are doing. We're doing the high-speed railway between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We're doing the DST tunnel. It's a very strategical tunneling system under Dubai. And we're doing the railway number 7 in Riyadh. And yes, we're doing the Epicon Tower with a private investor, and we're assisting them to do this, and this is part of Trojena. I mean, being for the last 20-something plus years in the Middle East and doing some of those kind of projects, we're all professional, we all worked in engineering and construction. You could imagine the days when we started doing work, the amount of like paperwork, fighting, sending email, telephone calls. We started with the brick. Who remembered the brick? The telephone, the brick. When it came out, I was the first one to buy it because we went to communicate with each other. We couldn't have. Then we came the pages. So then the faxes before that. So all this, during that time, and we came and started introduced to BIM, it actually gave us a huge jump forward in trying to manage and operate our project, especially during design phases. Because our focus not just only on adjusted design. We came from an Australian background engineering, because when you look at design, you want to make sure that you could build the design you're designing, okay? So not just, it's so easy to put things on paper and then send it to the contractor, and then the contractor's team standing over there and just, okay, how do we do this? What do we do? So again, you have to put yourself on their shoes at the same time and trying to see how can you build and what can you deliver at this stage. So one of the biggest problem is we have during that time, of course, look, fragmented teamwork, fragmented design, overloaded, double doing almost everything. I get to a point when we had in the same team under us, we had, for example, an MEP. We doing the ducting through the bloody drop-down beam, so they didn't see that because the guy did not send them the updated drawing. And if they sent them the updated drawing, it's too late because his one sent it for approval. Then I have to take the drawing and go down to Dubai municipality to approve that drawing. I stamp the drawing, then come back and, oh, oops, now we have a new one, then go back and again. So that was nightmare. And we lived through this era. We lived through this time. BIM came along and we start adopting BIM. At the beginning, look, everyone was very, very resistant to BIM. Everyone. And I was just telling Mr. Tekin last year, I've met a client, a contractor. It's a family-oriented business contractor, very successful, made his money throughout the last 20 years by doing things the same way. And when I spoke to him about, implementation of BIM and trying to use this technology, his reply to me goes, what, do you want me to buy toys? I could just spend and invest this money buying lubricant for my equipment, diesel, this. Last week he called me, he said, oh, Bill, you know what? We're struggling. We haven't won the project since last year. I said to him, what do you mean? He goes, well, because now it's mandatory part of the government and every tender, we have to use a PMIS. We have to submit in the BIM. We have to do this. And I said, oh, well, you told me there was a toy. I said, well, apparently those toys now, it's going to get us the job. I said, well, you better start moving. So this is a kind of resistance in the culture in the construction industry. Now, there is two gaps at the same time. The gap is when you have a company, what we call it, an organizational structured company, and a family-run owned company. They two different approach to doing things. And usually the one who's struggling is the family-owned operated company, where they're having a lot of difficulty embracing or trying to figure a way to move from traditional, the last 30 or 40 years of doing things, to what's been happening right now in the market, okay? And I think there was a good opportunity for every business and even for every educational people to try slowly or try to help them to move on and trying to adopt to a new technology, to BIM. But at the same time we have to prove to them the actual, what do you call it, the business case, that they are benefiting. They're going to make money out of that. They're going to save. They're going to benefit. Otherwise, they're not going to do it because they are afraid, and everyone afraid from changes. This is a little bit of interesting slide. I use the analogy back in the old days when we have multiple teams and we're trying to do things and it's all fragmented and clashing and doing this. Then along came BIM. Even people said, oh, BIM we can solve. No, BIM, it cannot even solve the problem for you. On top of BIM, yes, you could visualize things, you could design things in 3D, but again, you still need to put this in a common data environment whereby you have everyone communicating, talking, exchanging, seeing, and updated instantly of what is going on their project. And that is one of the most important parts right now. Because look, we're living in the world, it's the planet, it's a big village. I have team working with me from Poland, with Tekin in Poland, Portugal, China, Iraq, Australia. So, and we're all working on the same project. By the way, I live in Dubai, so I could work for both time shift. And we try to put everyone 24 hours on a single project, and continuously we're receiving data. Continuously we have updates, 24/7. We're getting things, we're getting drawing, we're getting. But again, if you are getting this in through your email, how are we gonna manage this? So again, I mean, you need a very powerful PMIS solution to kind of manage and put things together for you. So when you wake up the next morning, or you send it to the client, everyone said, oh, okay, it's done. So, and that's what, in the last about 5 years, we have been pushing this, and we've done a couple of projects through this.
Can we go to project detail, because your time is finishing almost?
Okay. All right, okay. Okay, look, I will be very fast. Look, this is some of the numbers and statistics that we have carried out during our project and our company in terms of what we know, saving. We've done some studies and a lot of this, from email, all this problem we've done that. So I'm not going to go through it one by one. I will go through it very fast, but I'm going to go directly to. This is the actual. What do you call it, the BIM standard, which implemented in KSA by the government, that every contractor has to follow throughout the life cycle of from tendering to execution and O&M. Okay, so I will go directly to the case study, and I think that is what the most important part. Currently, we are working with the contracting client, and we are tendering for this marvelous piece of steel. It is 2,800 meters above sea level up in the mountain, okay? And the height of this chimney, it's called a solar chimney, and it's actually suck hot air out, bring in cold air. It's 172 meters high. With the central ring is about 118 meters diameter. So, and the whole idea basically is to have kind of like an oasis from the inside out and trying to build this. It's basically the visiting center whereby everyone is going to come in, is going to go through this to Trojena, where they are holding the Olympic now, the Winter Olympic. And by the way, it snows over there in Saudi Arabia. So, okay, this is some of the statistics and number about it. One important thing is what we're trying to do right now in this one. We have 172 meter high, 3,445 pieces of steel fabricated, trying to put together. And using BIM and using BMIS, we are managing these individual pieces and we are pricing for it piece per piece, okay? In the old days, we used to take it, send it to a contractor, our steel contractor, let him price everything for us. Right now, what we are even doing is, we're looking at each piece of steel that we're fabricating. We're sending some of them to China. Some of them we're doing it locally and even to Turkey in order to get better pricing and better pricing from everyone. Because we know, for example, if we're going to fabricate certain element in KSA, it's going to be more expensive than doing it in China. So we're picking out those individual elements and sending them to China. And we are managing this process. In the old days, no way. You just pack a drawing, send it to one contractor, and the contractor does everything by themselves. Even right now, we are looking at the cable. It's the center mass of this building held by cable. It's no actually columns. So we're using a cable system to hold the central mass of this tower. It's 5,000 something ton of steel. So, and that's what we are utilizing and using. BIM is assisting us in doing this. This is some of the other projects around it. This is the project location, okay? There was another 5 projects in the same mountain around this. Another challenge is actually transportation. So currently there is, most of the infrastructure is under development. It hasn't been developed. And one area is basically we are actually using BIM to try and figure out how can we construct this. Either we can break it to 3 pieces or we do it 1 piece and use helicopter lift to lift it with the helicopter and trying to put it. And we're trying to, to target saving almost 6 weeks by using this method. But again, we're comparing then the cost for both methods in terms of just having it by 3 pieces or just using a helicopter lift to try and take it over there as 1 piece. This is how it's been held with a suspension cable. So, and the outside ring. This is some of the methodology statement we are using, trying to test a few things out. And this is to give you a human perspective, the central mass of the tower compared to a human. Like when you look at that from a 3D point of view and these things in the air, now you can get a sense of what the size of each piece of steel is about. And this is currently, we are running some modeling for constructability and trying to put it into different pieces. Again, I mean, finally, in terms of this one, we have managed a lot of, one of the biggest area that we are pushing always for is not just only cost saving, it's actually time. The biggest problem in KSA and all this project is not, the client is not talking to us about cost anymore. They're saying, okay, we are committed to a deadline, which is for the Winter Olympic. Can we do that? Can we finish it? So for us to come back with a different way of trying to visualize things differently.
But they should have winter before the Winter Olympics. So
Tekin, this winter in Riyadh, we had -3.
Wow, wow.
Remember when I called you and I told you?
Don't say something like that. People will have shock here, you know.
Yes.
So
I'm talking about a city which is in the summer hit 55 degrees. Yes. So the weather is changing.
Wow.
So anyway, the biggest challenge is basically to have things done on time or even is faster. And that is what our push right now. And we are utilizing BIM technologies, different idea, different solution, different technical in order to try to figure a way out how do we build things and how to even design things faster too. Not just only building it, even designing it faster because it all rely on design too. So, okay. So
I think you used in this project.
Yes,
as
I will now let
PMIS,
him to show you some of the real life model running.
All right.
I will explain to you.
So actually, thank you, Bill. Really, I mean, it's impressive project. We are as a technology provider to his company, working 5 biggest project in the world today using our technology, which is ISETIA PMIS system. PMIS is a next generation of CDE because we work with the common data environment, BIM common data environment, and PMIS is now obligatory for many government organizations, which is all integrated data, not only 3D, including 4D, 5D. That's why I said it's a lot 600 application. Actually, this is not about 3D modeling, and it's more about in this project. Tomorrow, I'm going to have 2 hours workshop. We have over 1,000 page of BIM execution plan. I'm planning to tomorrow to show Dubai Metro, NEOM, and Istanbul Airport and JCDC Stadium. So those 4 project perspective, we will be tomorrow running 4D and 5D workshop. And during this time, we will be showing you more detail, like challenges, design document, how prepared worldwide design companies, construction companies, before starting project, how they prepare the documentation. And I have also live data, which is I can share Revit model. I'm sorry, I will show Revit model, IFC model. The point is that in this project, majorly, you can see on the down the lot 500, this is the 500 page of documents, which some part Bill was showing you, which is all the details of elements has been developed and explained in the document, which is very important before starting the tender even. So before tender, all design, all documentation was ready. This is very important. It's not like after starting it. Of course, they use the dashboard reporting, like because we have VDC and all the model, automatic takeoff will give the logistic plan, procurement plan, construction plan, BOQ, and even for the project finance cash flow in the system. The next one, this is a place in the middle of nowhere, and I was shocked when I go there. I just realized there is no hotel. I mean that you're building some construction facilities, and the nearest hotel that 200 kilometers. So it's
but they have 5-star containers.
Yeah, something like this, and that's why we use the technique for opening the model in GIS, all the connections, all the things in the one platform. And of course, tomorrow I will show how the QR code, Google Lens, and all the latest technology we were using it. The major challenge was scheduling construction work because, as Bill mentioned, their design, procurement, and installation. And in the middle of the desert, they plan everything, but they forgot how they will bring the cranes. So this is very big construction, and they have to build road to be able to bring the special crane to do it. And we are, as a technology, integrated GIS, that we are able to open the model in the map and run the construction simulation program, which is when you integrate it 3D with the time, you become a 4D enable organizations. That's why this is some sample. Tomorrow we will build from zero to end, from 3D model, how we can take off, how we can link the schedule, how we can run the 4D simulations, and in the live experience that we will be sharing with you, this kind of simulations. This is not like Navish work, you are running the design. This is more about integrating cost, integrating schedule, seeing the critical activities, tracking the material, is ordered, delivered, installed. All these important parameters, you will be able to tomorrow see it. We have also here exhibition table. A bill will be available. He will be also sharing Dubai Metro, high-speed rail, Abu Dhabi. I will be speaking about Istanbul Airport or other projects. As I said today, the 5 biggest worldwide, the biggest project, over $30 billion. Each of them are using our technology, and we have experience. We would like to happy to share it with you. The last things that I think that you want to finish it, because we are almost having time. Yeah.
Yep. And finally, gentlemen, look, in the last couple of years, we've been following the construction market both in Germany and in Japan. And recently, I've been following the two companies, Max Bugel from Germany and Obashi from Japan. Both of them are, each one has created their own methodology, or own way of actually using BIM, trying to figure out how to utilize BIM for the maximum benefit of their project. For example, Max Bugels, they combine BIM in order to achieve what's called lean engineering. Okay, at the same time, the Japanese Obashi, they have created a virtual constructability center, 3D, whereby they actually, before they go on site, they're training their project managers to actually virtually build the project before they go. They're spending 6 weeks in the training center, going through the projects, virtual building, before they start building. So again, this is some of the future and what people are heading and what people they are experimenting right now to go to the next forward in construction. I would love to have this kind of thing in Dubai, but I think it's quite out of our budget right now. So can you...
Yeah.
Again, I mean, one of the biggest challenges right now, I see it not just only in the Middle East, even around the world, is basically in terms of BIM. There is a big cultural gap in terms of people in the construction industry trying to adopt it. Secondly is training, inadequate training and availability of people accepting the technology. And finally is governmental policies, okay? I was just talking to Tekin, and the guy was saying to me about here we have multiple committees, and committees could go meet and we discuss. And I said, okay, and then what? Oh, then we disagree and we agree, and said, okay, that's 5 years, 6 years. Cool enough. And I was like, no, you need a social dictatorship. This is how it's going to be done. Take it or leave it. And now it is in the Middle East. Every time that you open up, there was a section in there that says BMIS. You have to define who's your BMIS, what you're doing, how do you managing your project, okay? And in some instance, like in Dubai Metro, I mean, the guys were so happy with ISETIA. They could not name ISETIA in particular name, but they were so, they kind of pushed the tender in a written way that we are forced to use ISETIA because we supported a couple of the consortium and we tendered for the project too. So again, I mean, it is right now mandatory to submit on BIM all drawing. No, for example, Dubai municipality or any authority in the UAE, they will not accept any submittal. It's all done online. You have to be in BIM, and plus you have to prove to your client or the government or semi-government or whoever that you are having an adequate BMIS solution in order to integrate and build their project. So, and I think that should be mandatory right now in the construction industry all over the world. So I think my time is out.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Maybe some question, or we don't get questions. All right. Thank you very much for your time. As I said, today we are available and tomorrow available, and we will be happy to sharing more details if you have any question. Thank you.
Thank you very much.